Hi, seventh graders. I hope you're having a good week.
Okay, so we're going to look at measures of central tendency, which is just a really fancy way to say averages. This is something you've done before. It's going to take some calculation, so you're going to want to use a calculator. I'm going to use my fancy graphing calculator here, but just anything. What calculator on your phone will work, calculator on your computer, any of that will work, but you will have to do some calculations for this one. Okay, our learning target, you will be able to find measures of central tendency. You'll demonstrate this by calculating central tendency for 4 sets of numbers. So you have heard the word average, but I want to remind you that average is not one thing. It's actually the choice of 3 things. The one that you're probably thinking of is the mean. To get the mean, we're going to add them all up, and then we're going to divide by how many? That is the mean. But that is not the only way to do the average. The average is also the median, which is the number that happens right in the middle. And the average is also the mode. The mode is the one that happens the most. So when somebody says average, there's actually 3 choices that they have there. Now here's a nice memory device to help you remember these. Please notice mode has 4 letters and most has 4 letters. And they both have the O in the middle there, and they both have the M to start. Median has 6 letters, so does middle, and they both have the D and they both have the M. And then the mean, it is mean to make you add all these up and divide by how many. So that is how I remember them. The last thing we're going to talk about is the range. That is how far is it from the lowest to the highest. And that's going to be a subtraction. We're just going to take our highest one, take our lowest one, and subtract those two. So here's our first set of numbers we're going to do it with. We have test scores in 81, 90, 75, 90, 86, 78, and 77. I would like to put these in order so that I can do the work that I need to do. So I'm going to look through these. What is my smallest one? My smallest one is a 75. And I personally cross them off as I go along to make sure I've got all of these. 77, 81, 86. Oops, I missed one, didn't I? So let's stick our 78 in there, and then the 81, and then the 86, and then 2 90s. Okay, let's just double check that I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I've got all the numbers there. Okay, to do the mean, I'm going to add these up. So adding 75 plus 77 plus 78 plus 81 plus 86 plus 90 plus 90 comes out as 577. I'm going to divide it by how many numbers there were. There were 7 numbers. So 577 divided by 7 gives me a mean of 82.4285714. Please get in the habit of writing everything you see down on the calculator. And then you can round it afterwards. Okay, the median is the one that happens right in the middle. So with 7 numbers, there's going to be a middle. And what I do personally is I just get the 2 sides to meet. So here were the first ones on the left and the right, second ones, third ones, and that leaves an 81 right in the middle. Okay, and the mode is the one that occurs on this list the most. So the only one that is on this list more than once is 90. So if somebody asks you what is the average of these test scores, they could tell you 82.4, 81, or 90. They are all considered the average. And that's why statistics are kind of flexible there. Okay, the range is the highest from the lowest. So I'm going to take my highest 90 minus my lowest 75, and that gives me a range of 15 numbers. So the grades are all within 15 points of each other. Next one, we have heights of plants. 1211, 1211, 1210, 1312. First step, let's put these in order. Now be careful when there's this many 12s that you are accurately doing them. So cross them off one at a time here as you're writing them down. Okay, double checking that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 numbers in my question. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 numbers in my answer. That's The mean, I'm going to add them all up. 10 plus 11 plus 11 plus 12 plus 12 plus 12 plus 12 plus 13 is 93. I'm going to divide it by how many there were, and there were 8 numbers. 93 divided by 8 is 11.625. The median is the one that happens in the middle. So here's my first 2. Here's my second 2, here's my third 2, here's my fourth 2, so the middle's somewhere here. Now, if it's the same number on both sides like it is here, 12 and 12, it's just going to be 12. But if they were 2 different numbers, you'd have to figure out what is in the middle of them. And then the mode is the number that's on this list the most. There are 2 11s, but there are 4 12s, so there are more 12s. So if anybody asked you what the average is, average height of this plant, I could say 11.625, 12, or 12. The range is the biggest one, the 13 minus the smallest one, which is 10, and that is a range of 3. One more set, and then we'll have an opportunity to try it on homework 515. Minutes spent reading. So starting with my smallest one and crossing them off as I write them down to help keep track. Okay, so there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers in my question. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in my rewriting. I'm going to add up 25 plus 34 plus 34 plus 51 plus 51 plus 60 plus 75. That is 330. I'm going to divide them by how many there were. What was it again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 divided by 7. Comes out as 47.1485,714. The median is going to be the one in the middle, so I'm going to mark my first ones, mark my second ones, mark my third ones, and my middle is a 51. I'm going to look for what's on this list the most. So there are 2 34s and there are 2 51s, and it is perfectly okay to have more than one mode. So I'm going to have 34 and 51. And then lastly, I'm going to figure out my range, taking my largest one to my smallest one. That is a range of 50 minutes. That is a very wide range. So go ahead and give that a try in the homework. Again, mean is the one that is so mean to make you do. Add them all up, divide by how many there are. The median is the one in the middle. The mode is the most on the list. And the range is the highest to the lowest.